Wait, so you
So there's no
send like the US government and all its like
journalists. Yeah.
You send them porn.
What does an OnlyFans creator really think about men in Singapore? This is your daily Ketchup. Good late afternoon, everybody. Reporting live from the Daily Ketchup studio. Drop your comments down below and say, wow, is this really live? So we have a very special creator here with us. She's just like us, a content creator, but a different kind. Or maybe you also find us on OnlyFans, you never know.
They laugh.
Anyway, welcome, Gracie.
Welcome!
Hi everyone.
For people who don't know you, how will you introduce yourself?
I'm a content creator.
Nice.
OnlyFans content creator.
So you're one of like the OGs, right? Because like the first person I subbed to on OnlyFans. This is gonna be so weird.
First
But, I mean, it was a friend. It was,
First out of how many?
was when she started her OnlyFans account. And then after that, then my other friend, and then she said that you guide her, which means you must have been in the space a long time.
Enough times, I think.
When
Long enough.
Yeah, when did you start? How come?
I think about like 2 years ago. Fun fact, so I think like maybe slightly more than 3 years ago, I have like no social media. I basically have no online profile on the internet at all.
What were you doing then?
I've been a very, very private person, like since I was young, and I hated social media. I think like there was a time where I got an anonymous email saying that they got my private photos.
Oh shit! Like voyeurs or like they took themselves or like you took?
That is an interesting first question. Good question nonetheless. No, because I like the way your mind works.
Because Dan also got leaked nudes.
No, because I was reading. Obviously, you have to research, right? I was reading like your wiki.sg and like you were saying how you were a victim of like voyeurism, like photos.
So
and stuff.
it's everything. So
Oh my God,
so it was
okay.
everything. So there is like photos of myself and
That were taken by yourself.
yeah, and even when I was like out in public, I always get stalked like all the time. Like
Right.
really. Even when I go on the street, people like take photos of me.
Right.
Yeah. It's quite bad.
Like you would notice them.
I'm very observant. Like before like people take out the phone, I already know they're gonna take out.
Right. Okay.
Because it happened to me so often.
Have you confronted anyone before and then like...
Like recent years, yes. I'm very confrontational. I have like a iPhone gallery collection.
Oh, of the
where-
voyeurs.
Yeah. And
Sick.
yeah, and I'm like, yes. I
You
was
also
like,
reverse them with the camera
yes,
also.
yes. Like I was like, what the
That makes you the voyeur. Okay. Because you don't know whether they were using their phone while you videoing them.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Sekali they just playing Pokemon Go. Then
Yes,
they like,
Sorry, but did they show you what photos they had or they just say only?
So they show like screenshots.
Right.
Yeah. It was very traumatic and I did a lot of shadow work lah, like, you know, like personal, like confronting my emotions and all these things. I think about like 1 or 2 years later, I have enough courage to like meet new people. I meet a new guy. And I told him, right, I have like PTSD when I go out. And when we fought, he used it against me. He was like, you are not on social media because you have something to hide, you're scared.
Right.
So he started threatening me, you know.
Right.
And then again, I did shadow work. I was like, okay, so I'm like so fucking scared. Why am I crying? So I was thinking, what's the worst thing that could happen if I put myself on the internet? I think I'll be quite popular.
Come down now.
So no,
Based on how much I can stalk in real life, I get a lot of followers, literally.
I was like, why might as well I just monetize it, right?
might as well make money out of all of it, right? Wow.
So I did that and it very quickly just
Right.
it feels a bit like I was like in the sea, like swimming against the current. And right now I'm like a
Swimming with the
surfer.
tide.
You're
Yeah,
on a big
I'm like,
ass yacht lah. It's like,
How you know she has a big ass though?
hey,
wow.
John.
Okay.
They purposely put the two married men next to her.
Yes, right.
Married sandwich.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when you decided to put yourself on social media, that as in, was it with the intent of starting OnlyFans?
not really, but it was with the intent that you know, you get cornered, and I was thinking, why am I so scared? So it was to like counter my fear of you know.
Right. So that person never actually leaked it. Never actually say what they wanted also. They just say, look, I have
They
it.
don't even know if
And they just want to make you panic.
I don't think I didn't even acknowledge that I read the email.
I see.
I never established contact. They don't even know if it's 100% me.
Right.
Yeah.
And years went by.
Yeah.
And you were.
I did a lot of crazy
They
shit.
never.
then.
But years went by and they never did leak it lah.
I think there are like
Right.
yeah.
They attempted to, but you managed to
Yeah.
clean it out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shit. Okay.
How did you do that?
So I did a lot of crazy stuff. So I'm quite techie.
Nice.
And
Hey, come
I
on.
actually managed to got a few of them in jail.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you trace back their IP.
Yeah. So I've been stalking like the community for a while.
You reverse Uno stalk them.
And I would just be one of the guys lah. And then
Yeah.
like, you know, they
Wow,
just,
you play long game lah.
I stalked them for 1 year.
So you even.
Wait, you
even
say I stopped them for 1 year.
So you were the catfish.
presumably it was on a forum lah. And you made friends with them on the forum,
Yeah.
and then you requested for your images to see whether
No,
they
I
have.
didn't.
Oh, then
I requested for other people. So I don't want to like, I want to be like, you know, part of the
Right,
game,
right.
right? Like, you know, like, oh, how about that? How about that? And you know, like,
but how
I
do you know
just,
it was them? Because they email you ma. So
I
you
didn't
only
know. I
have the
stalked
email.
them for 1 year.
So that means you are looking at like the few prominent like
Yeah.
Telegram group chats or
Yeah.
whatever
Yes.
forums. Then you
Right.
try to find
Yeah.
out who they are.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So became almost a vigilante, but within the system, like you got them to jail.
So like how did you end up finding out that okay, this is the guy?
I didn't. So I just throw a net, right? Whoever's IP I got there, I just throw them
Out
in.
them.
Yeah.
So
out
you
them.
don't know exactly who
Yeah.
sent, but at least whoever is doing this in the world, get
Yeah.
them caught.
Yeah. Do you guys remember there is this time where Tumblr got
A lot of porn.
no, they got
That was
Oh,
what
no,
was
I
going
don't
for.
know.
do you remember the part where they removed?
Yes.
Yeah. It was big news.
Okay, I respect you
Yeah, the reason
for
why
acknowledging it with me.
No,
why-
it was big news,
It
not
was
that I
big
used
news.
to watch.
yeah.
No, Tumblr porn was great.
I don't know if it's me,
Okay.
but I actually consolidated all the worst crimes that happened on Tumblr during that period of time. And I sent every single minister in the US and like in Singapore, and I sent to all the journalists, and I pointed to like Apple and I say, yeah, like Apple is enabling this lah. So
Right.
then Apple gave, I don't know if it's me, but
Yeah.
Apple gave a warning to Tumblr to remove it, or otherwise they take off App Store. So yeah, and then I think like a year later, like Tumblr went on like a layoff,
Right.
and I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's
But
me,
you
but
were part of it lah.
I don't know. I don't
Right,
know.
right,
Wait, so you
right.
So there's
essentially
no-
send like the US government and all its like cabinet-
Journalists, yeah.
You send them porn.
It's like a crime in Singapore. Transmitting of pornographic.
Yeah.
No, but for journalistic purposes.
Yeah. Whistleblowing,
Okay.
whistleblowing.
Yeah,
Whistleblowing.
so I don't know if I was the one, but probably.
Damn.
Wow.
But the timeline adds up.
So let's recap this story, right?
so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, so you were almost an extreme introvert, right? And then after that, you got threatened with images. I hope you all understand we are not digging that part anymore, because like, you know, it's weird. She give out information there, people know what to find it, you know. So we're gonna move on from here. And so then you went through a very traumatic period of your life.
Yeah.
Decide to take control of your sexuality since it was weaponized against you. And then you started OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You started just posting online first, right? Not straight away OnlyFans, right?
No, but I feel like it's part of the journey, you know.
When
It's
you
like
started
taking
posting
control.
online, was it already suggestive photos?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So the game plan there already lah.
Yes. The game
Right.
plan was to like
Interesting.
not allow anyone to like scare me.
Right.
Right.
So what was the first thing you post?
It wasn't like that suggestive, but it was
Like teenage
relatively
lah, usual shit lah.
Yeah.
Awkward or not? Like how do you go about taking your first
Yeah.
piece of content?
So it was by a guy that is very close to me, so it wasn't awkward.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you were dating said guy.
And yeah, and even
see.
before like social media, like I've been sexualized against my will anyway. So I was like numb to it.
Like your friends and all that, were they surprised that you suddenly decided to go online and do this?
Super like just having like social media they were like so shocked. They was like asking me like, "Are you okay? Do you need to see a therapist? Like, why are you?"
Why are you on social media? Like, come down lah.
Not even the type of photos, just that you were on social
Yeah,
media.
just on. And they
Why
were
are you putting yourself out there?
Yeah, because I don't even take any photos like before that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, damn.
So eventually, then how did you branch into OnlyFans? And like, what's the type of content that you've decided to do on OnlyFans?
So I have an interest in photography. So I think immediately I gravitate towards like gravel stuff, like Japanese gravel, because
What the heck?
Oh.
Was not-
What is that?
okay.
Just rock on the floor.
it is like Japanese soft
Porn.
porn. Yeah,
Oh, so that's what gravel is. I literally thought like the
gravel.
stones.
Oh, Japanese gravel is
Yeah.
soft porn as shit. Okay, okay.
it's like it you know, like
Yeah.
it's not going
I
all
thought it's
out.
the one
but-
where you draw the line in the sand.
Yeah. I could see how as a photography enthusiast, you like symmetry and
Now I know
Okay,
how to
okay,
Google.
okay. So like Japanese got different categories also. They got the JAVs and then you got the... Okay, sorry, I said too much. I said too
JV
much.
is just Japanese adult videos.
Hentai,
No?
ah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Okay.
Right.
So gravel is soft porn.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, we're learning.
Okay, so you start making gravel.
Yeah.
is that how you
I started making like very soft.
Sorry, soft core porn is just no nudity lah,
Yeah.
Right.
And for some reason, I don't know, when I hear soft core porn, the lighting always very bright one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bit overexposed background. Okay. I don't know. No, I'm saying too much. Okay. You guys take over.
Take control. We are not sure what we're doing already.
For a while.
Like, three of us like cannot finish our sentence, so then you still want to go there.
So from the time when you started OnlyFans, right, have you been in a relationship since?
No, I've not been in a relationship.
Wait, so you were in a relationship when you started OnlyFans?
Yeah, the very close friend that helped her take picture. You were dating that guy lah, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you talk to him about starting OnlyFans?
Oh, he's supportive. Yeah.
Alright.
He said he will subscribe to me.
His OnlyFans.
You know, it's like when most people want to pursue something in their career and then you like support them and then you be like, you in the back of your mind, you think, okay, I'll be your only subscriber. Like, so you're probably thinking, okay, I'll be your only subscriber.
I'll be
Suddenly
your
you
only
skyrocket and like you became this like...
You start raising your wrist. Hey, what the that used to be $2. What?
Because it's so weird if his friends go like, hey, your girlfriend
Yeah.
on my phone.
No, I think his friends are like started following me throughout like
Yeah,
you
lah.
know.
Is it not strange?
No, I feel like when you get to that mind space, right, you
Yeah.
expect all this already.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you rather, right, if you're gonna talk about me behind my back,
I rather you
Pay off.
subscribe to me. Yeah, exactly. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your then boyfriend, right, when you wanted to start, when you started OnlyFans, did it change your dynamics?
No.
And what's the eventual reason? As in the OnlyFans?
Long distance.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because of OnlyFans that you guys...
Yeah, it wasn't.
But do you think being an OnlyFans creator has affected your dating life?
I think it did, but it's not in the way that people imagine. So I don't think the kind of guy I like would have, not want me because I'm on OnlyFans.
she sounded like she was choking up. Then like,
No. So the problem is right now it's like meeting people. Game theory, right? I think everybody think that, I have a lot of suitors, so nobody there to chase. So then 就是没有.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But you're actively looking lah.
I'm not actively looking.
Okay.
open now.
But if anyone wants to try it.
Yeah, and I also don't really want to like hang out with a lot of people because I feel like my brand is that I'm not that easily available. That's why you have to subscribe.
Nice.
I see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also,
okay.
so you're honest, I touch your heart one. Would you, if a subscriber DMs you and like talk like a normal person, like, like a big fan of your work, I guess, like not like pick up line and shit, right? Would you be open to dating a subscriber?
Stop right there. Like, share, and subscribe. And ring the notification bell. Tickle it real good,
Daren
guys.
Ketchup and Gracie's OnlyFans.
Nice.
Hit the subscribe button real hard.
Spank it.
Back to the episode.
I met one subscriber.
Okay.
How did
But he
that happen?
came in with I think he came in with a plan.
Right.
Kena con.
Right.
So he already have advantage, right? He knows a lot of my friends, and even like the guys I've dated before. So he's like, you know, it's like trusted circle. So and he was like, do you want to have coffee? And then we like, let's discuss.
No, he DM you on OF.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Oh.
And then you let's discuss. Okay.
No, so he like he lure me with work.
Right.
He's like, hey, we like want to discuss. I was like, okay, fine, we'll meet. And then I think there's a bit of like, you know, interaction there. but nothing.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like physical interaction.
Yeah.
Oh.
It eventually, but it didn't.
Okay, so
He
the
did.
takeaway is Ken. Not easy. But Ken
But
is Ken.
possible.
No, but why
Ken
you
is
say
Ken.
kena con?
Because he said work what? In my head, I was like thinking really
Oh,
work.
sorry.
what?
Okay. Got it. Okay.
But in the end, still got physical interaction.
Right.
Now the playbook is out there though.
Yes, yeah. Oh no.
So
This
you
is
got
She
opening
will not fall for
liner.
the same thing again.
Yeah lah. Take deposit first.
Sorry, he wants to know what was the opening liner.
He's like, hey,
Okay.
I saw you somewhere. I was like, by the way, you know, this is me, and he took a picture of himself.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
And he good looking lah, presumably.
Yeah, and then no, he's
reluctance to
normal.
praise him.
He's like average. He's average, but the fact that he came in and like sent me his photo with his face, like
Yeah.
nobody has done that,
Right.
and it's trying to like establish trust,
Yeah.
right? So
Have you ever like experience where you know you're like people walk up to you and go, oh my god, you look familiar, and then after I realize, oh shit.
Then they found their wife.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, I know him. I cannot say it.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's so many times. Yeah, sometimes when people are with their partner, I can see like the eyes where they recognize me, right? but I just okay, whatever. Like, you know, I'm not gonna expose you. I'm just gonna like.
I'm gonna tell my friend Gabriel that introduced me to Gracie. You always wanted to be mentioned on the show.
But how did you market your OnlyFans? Are
He's
you
asking
on
for
like
himself also, by the way.
Because were you more popular on Instagram first,
he's-
or which
He's genuinely
platforms?
thinking about starting
I
OnlyFans.
think I was more popular on like Instagram first, but I was always shadow banned. So I moved on to like TikTok, did well, and then shadow banned again. So I've learned to like, you know, adapt and just go like multi platforms.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, was there a very first like viral piece of content that happened?
Maybe the one where I was hiring the PA.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That for some strange reason like gave me quite a bit of new subscribers. Yeah.
So what did this PA do for you?
I tried hiring, like it was just starting out, and then like very quickly he quit because his girlfriend, you know, was saying like, oh, I don't want you to work with Gracie. So yeah, so that's
Understandably.
Fair enough lah.
What were the perks of his job? Let's can you share with us
Aside from the
what
5K,
people that
aside from the
did not
5K
apply
pay.
miss?
majority of his work is actually you know, it's a work from home.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, so it's actually very safe. It's like I'm not gonna hire someone and like hook up with him. Like I don't want that.
Oh, no,
no,
that's not what I'm insinuating.
yeah,
I mean, like, does he take your photos?
no, actually,
Right.
Oh.
yeah, because
Then okay, what? Then you pay rather well also.
Then why the girlfriend upset?
I have no idea.
Wait, so
have no idea.
the job is to just edit photos?
It was like a soft launch. Like I didn't pay him that 5.8 immediately. I gave him like only like 1-2K just to
Oh,
do
I see, I
remote
see.
work first. So to see if I can vibe with him, and then I'll slowly. But then before that even happens, you know.
So it's like
Right.
booking stuff, is it? Or like
Yeah.
logistics and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay. I understand.
I was listening to Miss Pui. Miss Pui, I think she went on like Jian Hao's podcast.
Right.
And it was very, very insightful, like her journey and her story. And then how she's able to like build like her little empire out of this whole experience. And she also kind of started similarly with like a traumatic like experience, right? I think she kena blackmail or something also.
Yeah, so something very interesting about Southeast Asian OF creators. A lot of the biggest creators all have the same story. Like they realized they got like blackmail, traumatized, and like you know,
Right.
until they're like, okay, never mind, we do it ourselves. And I actually brought a few like creators on board who have very similar stories, right? And they are so traumatized that I realized, why you traumatized until you start posting for free? Like at least just post on like
Right.
OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, at least get
And-
paid
Don't be
out of it.
traumatized, monetize.
Nice. You can start an OnlyFans agency.
Yeah.
And there's your
Yeah.
Don't be
tagline.
traumatized, money
How?
guys.
We start one together.
It's like now
Hey, what are you talking about?
Hey,
got like
agency.
yeah, now like got YouTuber Creators Network. Just create an OnlyFans Creators Network. Got cross
What's
collaboration.
branded content for OnlyFans creator look like? Have or not?
Don't have, but I think there is a huge market.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you do like collaborations with other OnlyFans creators?
I do, but I feel like it is a little bit more sensitive than like mainstream.
I see.
Because you're like bare, so you really need to trust the creator and
I
be
see.
comfortable with the person.
But it'll be so like mind-blowing. It's almost like the multiverse where like you are a Miss Pui fan and then you're a Gracie fan, and then suddenly right, like this month, right, oh my god, they're both together, the crossover, the century, then like damn sick for subscribers. Oh my gosh. And you can
I feel like you're a different man as when you got married. It's like you
no, I'm just thinking about the money. That's it.
Okay,
Nothing
okay,
else.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's so much that like YouTube is doing, because like YouTube is always known for like the cross collaborations, right? That you can end up just doing both on the monetization side and the creative side for OnlyFans. Oh my god, so fun.
What about your family? Like, how did they react to?
My mom was like laughing at me. She saw the news of like the PA thing, and she's like, wow.
That's how she found out that you were doing.
She always knew that I was taking sexy photos, but she just do not know like the
What is
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans?
yeah.
Okay.
But she roughly she knows.
Does she know how much money you're making from it?
She doesn't know, but she can see my lifestyle.
Yeah, okay. So she's like, okay lah, she's okay, she's taking care of herself. And then like with the PA stuff, it's like, oh my god, you made the news. Rather than, oh, you're doing OnlyFans.
Oh,
It's
she
like-
was like scolding me. She's like, wow, do you like put enough money in CPF or not?
Good mother.
Yeah.
But do
Yes,
you
yeah.
do you voluntarily contribute to your CPF?
Yeah, I pay tax 100%. Okay, so I'm very careful one. Like,
Yeah.
I know that like being in a certain like position, people will try to like get you. Like, I don't know, out of like jealous, I don't
It's
know.
just out of spite. They will just
Yeah.
call and say, hey, you better check whether she's paying tax or not.
Yeah. So I make sure to like take care of that part. Like when people try to get me, they will not get hold
Yeah.
of me. So
Yeah, fully defensible.
yeah, like I already like built my
So there was no conversation with your mom at all when she first found out.
No, so I've been very independent. So I've been traveling alone, solo before that.
Yeah.
She's actually very happy that I'm doing this because I'm not like out in nowhere, alone, right?
Right.
Actually, now she's at home way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
but
like,
not with her mom. She lives alone,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
And like you save so much money actually because like you're just at home.
yeah, actually, yes.
This
Yeah.
worked.
The
Why
many
you
are
wanna
all
ask
thinking.
No! I won't subject her to that. I'll
No,
do it myself.
so that you can do. You can call it your clumsy clubs.
Do you do any private requests? And
Like custom requests?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
What are some like weird ones?
Oh, there's one like hentai. He asked me to like reenact this like hentai story.
Oh.
That I'm this girl that got like mind power control, and then I like started tripping, and then like being super horny for him and calling for his name.
How much is that?
I didn't follow up because I
Okay, how much would you have charged?
at least at least lah.
That's the
15.
going rate for OF.
So it's
I
a
mean, if
1
you're
hour
like-
video. It's a
if
movie.
it's like a
Fucking movies.
Are you able to share how much you
earn,
how much you earn? Like a monthly average?
Wow.
I spent so many years building a company for.
So what's your day to day like?
right now I think I'm moving towards helping other creators or like guiding them, things like that.
Mentorship.
Yeah.
OnlyFans consultant.
Yeah. Hey, but do you get paid for that?
Yeah.
Nice.
So what's the
Okay,
age
okay.
range of the people who are trying to embark on this? Are they like these Singaporean girls?
Everywhere also have 20, 30s, yeah. Guys also have.
From all over the world.
How will you prep them? So if let's say, I'm an attractive woman, right?
Or just yourself,
saying,
just a
not
man.
saying guys, no lah, because then the advice will be very different. They'll be like, John, I don't think you can make it, So let's say I'm an attractive woman.
Okay, say Pat want to get OnlyFans.
Have you met my wife?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's say Pat wants to do OnlyFans and she's not married, lah. Okay.
No, she.
No, she is.
She
It's
is.
her current situation.
Do you do a level of filter first, like that warning that you might give them?
Yeah.
So now let's say we broadcast this, right?
Yeah. If she's based in Singapore, I'll tell her
Singapore.
like number one, come up with a stage name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't.
no, so you don't filter for them first. You don't say like, tell me why you want to do this. then you warn them on repercussions.
The
in life.
dangers and
So
stuff.
by the time anyone comes up to me, right, they talk about it for months already.
Right. So you
Yes,
don't
yeah.
filter them really.
I do. But then usually the ones that, come to me, it's very obvious that they are already posting on Instagram.
Right.
And I feel like this kind of things, like this kind of profile, like you must go on OnlyFans. Like you don't post it,
I see.
for free,
Yeah.
for free, and yeah.
Other advice that I give is that, especially guys, I will tell them don't spend the money. Don't, because I feel like men, when they suddenly have that like big surge of money, they suddenly have this
Yeah.
elevated emotion, and I can kind of like tell that they are in this high. They are just spend over leverage and things like
So
that.
you tell guys don't spend the money on what?
Just
on
save
OnlyFans.
it. Just save the
So
money.
it's financial
Yeah.
consultancy also, because like the guys tend to just start spending, buy
Yeah.
cars,
This
buy.
is what your followers are.
No.
So that means
the
if a
other
guy
creators
start to pop off on Instagram,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
then he
Male
want to
creators.
do OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are
Oh.
telling them don't do OnlyFans.
No, I'm saying
don't-
don't spend the money that you earn from OnlyFans.
Don't splurge.
Don't splurge.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Got
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
So they buy cars, they buy.
I see.
Yeah, and I warn them that there is a very likelihood that
There's
that
a
it peaks.
phase. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
don't get too excited for the first 6 months.
It won't
really.
last forever, lah.
Right.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
the creator that can last after 6 months. Then maybe you can relax. But the first 6 months is always easiest. Yeah.
Right.
Like, what's the ratio of male to female creators that you work with?
Actually, there's quite a lot of male creators. Really.
Can make
Can.
Like, what advice will you? What advice will you give John?
Grow
If
hair.
he got stalker, you don't see his face like that.
Give me at the end of the year.
No, but I'm curious, like, what kind of content? Because, like, at least for girls, suggestive is okay, cleavage is okay, but guys got no cleavage. to
Yeah,
show.
you straight away
Hey,
take
some
out
guys got cleavage, don't worry.
I got butt crack lah. But like, like straight away have to put on pants already, right?
So in terms
What
of like
apps are?
content, I try not to meddle because I don't want to like tell them what to do, right? Because it's very sensitive. Like, what if they're not comfortable?
Yeah, of course.
So I'll give them advice on like how to maximize the features inside, or like like just don't get them into like trouble. Like find over leverage. You are spending their money too much.
She's like our
things like
YouTube
that.
partner. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget that you can unlock one more tier of membership. Exclusive content for VIPs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So most of the male creators, they are posting what?
So I don't really subscribe to them. I don't like micromanage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't know what their content is?
Do they send you to QC? Like they
Yeah,
say,
I was
hey,
thinking
tomorrow
as well.
I'll post
Yeah, what do you
this.
think about this picture of asshole?
Initially they do, but after that I'm like, I don't really want to like respond to that. So
Right.
like in terms of like content part, I don't want to be involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
How
essentially.
would you QC it? Like, honestly, your asshole don't look at that tight from this angle. Maybe
Yeah,
you shift your camera a bit.
No, they're essentially sending her pics, but in a professional setting, which is so strange.
Platonic
They're asking her professional opinion on their.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a
a tree.
I'm thinking of doing cooking with my feet.
But you wearing pants?
You sit down and you cook it.
And the thing sees on it, your nuts are frying.
The funny thing is that you're talking about feet, right? Give feet facial. That means she give people facial with her feet.
Like
I was
her-
supposed to go like
Like her actual leg?
her
In
feet.
person
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, is it this
I
part
gotta
only?
pay for that.
This is part of her OnlyFans thing. Or is
I don't know. I
No,
didn't
this
ask.
is BDSM
because she got
already.
skincare business, right?
Yeah, she does BDSM.
I'm trying to understand
Interesting.
the value you derive from being stepped on your face.
You try?
No, the value of being stepped on.
No, I guess
any
now I stay with my
maternity
sister.
toes.
My nephew stepped on my face for free. I never charge them.
Okay, I think that's strange.
Yeah.
No, they climb the couch at time. He's like, go on, yeah.
But do you get...
Hey, my nephew, yeah.
No, do you get angry? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Wait.
Only when my hair gets messy.
No, that's why his nephew might get angry.
Only when they mess up my hair.
Like, Gracie, how do you deal with like leaks? Because I know that like people can subscribe, they get it, and then they will just transmit it on Reddit or they transmit it on Twitter or whatever.
You just have to create more content. So and like, make people feel like the FOMO, that there's even more. That's one. I think there's 3 reasons why people subscribe to OnlyFans creators. One is
I see.
just to support, pure support.
Like John.
Yeah. Number 2 is they want the intimacy or they want the interaction from you. And then the steroids is the sex part lah, the sexiness. And I feel like sexiness itself, or like just skin itself, is actually not a very good reason for people to just subscribe to you, because
not long term lah.
Yeah, because they can just get it for free on the internet, right? Any girl, why do they have to subscribe? So I think when they get content like leaked content, they actually are missing out that magic formula.
Right. So a very big part of OnlyFans that people don't talk about is the messaging component. I see.
Or like they feel closer to you, or like they have access to you.
You talked about you are glad that, or you feel very privileged that you have, I don't know what's the word you use, like beauty privilege? What was the word you used?
Pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege. And I saw you trying to tai chi your way around, because there were some people that are saying, because you use a picture, she's like, I feel very blessed that I have pretty privilege, and some people don't have. Then got some weird internet stock photo that you download. Then I can imagine your DMs like, are you saying they're ugly, right? Then you had to come and tai chi your way and say that, oh no, I never say that they're ugly and all that shit, right? What transpired that pretty privilege thought?
Okay, so there's a lot of people who think that like pretty equals privilege, right? I actually disagree. I feel like it's a double-edged sword. So when you are young and you're pretty, actually you get taken advantage much more, and you get scammed much more than the rest. Like only if you know how to use it.
So you're not saying it as a point of privilege. You are saying it as, oh, I see.
Yeah. So because I actually came from that, I just managed to like learn fast enough to be on top of it. So this is what I think, that a lot of people think that, oh, pretty first equals privilege. Only if you know how to like protect yourself. But if you don't, you're actually like the victim of it lah.
Right.
Maybe.
I think we talked about this before, right? Like, I mean, we brought it up before, where good-looking people, you naturally have an advantage in life, but we never really think about the cons of it. But then, arguably, do the pros at the end of the day still completely outweigh the cons?
I feel like there's a pros and cons to being very good-looking.
There's a lot of cons and a little bit of pros to
very
being ugly.
little pros if you're not good-looking.
Yeah, if you're ugly,
It's
like,
just you have life on a hard mode and it doesn't get better.
I think it's survivorship bias.
Right. I came across this TikTok, right? Where this girl, she like looked quite okay. Then she start talking, right? Then she said that you just need to believe in yourself. You need to have confidence. You need to have all this, right? Then suddenly she cut to one photo 2 years ago, right? Wow, fucking buang, yeah. But somehow, right, just with that confidence and belief in her, and she managed to become like the full potential version of herself, you know? Wow,
Cyan mode.
crazy one, eh? Then you see really like two different people. Eh?
In believing that you deserve to be loved, you start
It's so
deserving
interesting.
to be loved.
Yeah.
I'm curious, right? Because like, in a sense, what you've done is you've almost weaponized your own sexuality back against men, right? Like, or in a sense, capitalized on it, right? But
Or woman.
yeah. But do you think that like, how to say, what you end up doing is perpetuating like these stereotypes and then feeding into that, and then the whole patriarchal thing becomes a vicious cycle?
No, not really. I feel like it's actually transferring some of the power to women. So, you know, people make money off women's body all the time. Like even you look at like YouTube thumbnail, Victoria's Secret, all these companies that, you know, you hire KOLs, models, and they are run very likely by rich men. And, you know, it's done anyway. But when I go online, or like when I put myself online, I've thought to myself, like, if there's anyone that's gonna like monetize of me, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
You know?
Why I asked you like the sexualizing question is because recently I saw a TikTok that made me very conflicted. So this girl, she's like, okay, I think on TikTok she kind of positioned herself as like a relationship coach kind of thing. And then there was one where she said that, okay, girls, today I'm going to teach you how to embrace your femininity, which is in a sense, learn how to make guys work for you.
Right.
And then what she thought was that like, when you go out, right, you must believe that I'm a princess. When you walk towards a door, there's a guy coming in to stop. And then you let them open the door for you. Then, so there was this other TikToker, she stitched the video. She said, so I tried it today. And then she said, when like she went to the supermarket, right? And after that, when the guy offered to like load her groceries into her car, usually she don't want because she grew up very independent. Then she was like, okay lor, you help me lor. So then the person load everything already. She go back to her home, and then her neighbor, whom she sees like very, very often and she doesn't really talk to, sees her like unloading, right? She doesn't say anything. All of a sudden, right, that just that day when she decided to like
Be a
embrace her
princess.
power, right? Yeah, be a
Yeah.
princess. He runs up to her, right, and like, please let me help you unload.
Wow.
Then after that, unload. Then the next day also same thing when she go out. She said she stopped at every single door, right? Guys run, right? Open the door for her.
It's a mindset and then
say,
everything.
then she said, right, let men do what they were born to do. Build, nurture, protect. Then and provide.
Provide,
sorry.
yeah.
Provide these 4 things.
I think it's the same rule as that's what she was talking about 6 months.
Yeah.
If she continue doing it for 6 months, right, I think she cannot beat. Yeah. It's like the first time she's doing it. Yeah, because she's probably going around the same area constantly, ma. Then the guys are like, hey,
They also want to go in and open the door very small.
scroll your phone.
But it made me so conflicted because it's like on one hand we want to break the stereotype that like men are to provide, then women are like,
Why do you want to
supposed
break
be
the
a bit.
stereotype?
Ooh.
Why? I'm happy to be like,
A princess.
Provided for.
to be kept in the kitchen. Although I can't cook.
But the man is not happy.
No, you see, that's the problem, right?
No, but I think speaking of that, right, I think it was really interesting that you mentioned about the power dynamics because, right, I would imagine, not that I am, maybe John can come in and chime in, but as a subscriber, right, I would feel that because the guy is the one with the money paying, they feel like they're in power because it's like you go to a hotel, you tip, then you feel like, oh, now you're being served. But the difference is that they are not the ones with the power, even if they're the subscribers, even if they're the ones paying you money, because you are the one who's getting all the money at the end of the day, and actually you have all the power. So it was such an interesting thought as I was trying to process.
It's the illusion of power, I guess. I think that's what monetizing your sexuality is.
Yeah.
It's giving people the illusion of power. Like
Yeah.
also that same conversation we about auctioning your virginity, and she said she would totally do it if she could have another chance. As opposed to doing it for free. But the guy that bought you will feel like, I bought this virginity. I now own this person's
It's like
virginity.
NFTs, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that girl was like, I do what everybody give up for free, but I made 250 grand. You know that the Russian.
exactly
Yeah.
that.
So in terms of like power dynamics, I mean, I'm not really like thinking about like subscribers and like creators. I was thinking more of like, so for example, Mia Khalifa, right? She's super popular. I think her entire porn career, she only earned about 11,000 USD. Yeah. And Emily Ratajkowski, I don't know if you guys recognize her.
Emrata.
Emily,
Yeah,
the one
Emrata.
that kissing Harry Styles.
That's how you pronounce. Say again. Rata what?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not gonna be that.
She was in Gone Girl.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought maybe you were saying that, but he's like, hey, I don't remember. It's
Yeah.
4 syllables.
So
It was at least 17 syllables.
Emrata.
So,
Yeah, so she was on Sports Illustrated and she, I think she was only paid like less than 5K and she was so popular then, like like millions of followers.
Millions.
And I feel like with OnlyFans, it really tilted the power dynamic because now these female creators are no longer at the mercy of all these like agents or management where, you know, like in the past, if you want to get a job, maybe you want to like, you know, like go down on your knees to like please.
Literally.
Whoa.
Yeah, literally. And it happens a lot in the adult industry, in the, you know, entertainment industry in elsewhere. Singapore less so, but I really witnessed and like I absolutely love the tilt in the power dynamics. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Interesting.
So what have you learned, like interacting with hundreds or thousands of followers on your OF, right, and chatting them daily? What do you learn about the human experience or about like men?
I think they are very lonely and they are like seeking connection, you know. And there's a lot of like studies that show that there is this like loneliness pandemic that's coming. So more and more people are paying for companionships, basically moving towards the Japanese way of life where they, you know, pay for companionship after work. Yeah. And it's just gonna get like more rampant.
So you think you'll get more? Because to me,
Yeah,
right,
100%.
I felt like the stars aligned when COVID happened. So everybody cannot do like their adult stuff and all that kind of thing already. So they like even like the sex workers, right? What happened was that they shifted online, ma. That's how they got that OnlyFans boom. And then at the same time, everybody's trapped at home. Then that loneliness thing increases. That's why they look for alternatives like and outlets like this lah. So now that COVID is kind of like we're moving on from it already. Then do you think the loneliness pandemic thing will continue
Yeah,
and
definitely.
worsen, or will it kind of like phase out and we go back to, you know, before?
No, I think it's
Yeah.
worse and worse.
Yeah,
eh.
it's gonna get worse and worse.
Why?
Because I think before this, like,
Social media.
people didn't know or people didn't have this outlet, so they had to go out of their way, and there was such a huge hurdle to like go to find a physical companion. But now that you get to pay for that connection, suddenly it's like so much easier. You can stay at home, you can talk to 5 different companions at one time that you pay for in a sense like pseudo companions.
So in a strange way, the COVID, what happened was that it created solutions which caused new problems, and then now the solutions and problems are stuck with us even after the original problem is gone.
No, I think it accelerated a lot of technology, but we were not meant to stay at the accelerator phase. But I think a conversation I had with Pat recently, right? And this was actually inspired with the conversation when Cardinal Goh joined us. I don't know which episode will come out first, right? And this is a wild thought, okay? And what intrigued me on that conversation was that when I spoke to Cardinal Goh, he brought up this point where in the past when people come home, right, their families are together and their relatives are together, their children and families are always big and multiple siblings and so multiple cousins that play with neighbors, and then you're cham and you see the absence of that now because of whatever modernizing factors, right? It does feel like the absence of that is causing many of the psychological issues that we feel today. Yeah, that fact that you don't go back to that community. You know, like loneliness is such a big conversation now, whereas it never was growing up.
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago, Japan just appointed their first loneliness minister.
No, really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So it is a real problem. So when he say like, oh, there's this commoditization of like OnlyFans girl, and because of the COVID thing,
Yeah.
I feel like there is a trend. So humans have been trying to like commoditize very intimate behaviors that we would normally only do with our family. Say for example, if you take a taxi, right? When you reach the airport and you are very tired, you want to go home. In the past, there's no such thing as taxi. So you have to have a family to like go all the way out there and take you home. Or like even massages, like who the hell will touch your body for like $50? It has to be somebody close to you. But we have been outsourcing all this.
Yeah, we've outsourced
very
Intimate moments.
intimate moments have been so normalized, and I actually do not think that it is a bad thing. Moving forward, we are just gonna peel the layers, and like all parts of our life we will be able to like be able to buy a small hello to like from a hot girl, or like maybe a hug.
It's happening today also, which I feel then it's a cycle. It goes back. And it's interesting that also you brought up that this loneliness minister in Japan. In a recent video made by Minister Ong Ye Kung, I think he's Min of Health, right? And so he's also talking about how as Singapore reached the super aging cycle of our generation, right? That a lot of the things, is healthcare needs, but many of these problems that you get when you're old, be it Alzheimer's and or whatnot, right? I think he gave a percentage, or I read that of a separate thing, but it's like 60% of them are caused by the lack of social element.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if in our work in MOSG or when we adopt our charities and whatnot, it's also talking about, it's not just about the food, it's not just about the money and the donation. What they need is someone to talk to them, and wow, this was never the case.
Yeah.
But I think what will be quite interesting is that in the future, I think where you've kind of laid the foundation is that we might actually commoditize a lot of different things that are intimate. So like, for example, 50 years from now, will people end up paying somebody to be a father figure to them and be someone to guide them and be a mentor?
But honestly, that already happens in Japan though. Like
Yeah.
the pay you to be my family thing.
Yeah.
Shit. No, but like
Japan has a lot of
but actually, but like actual connections and like conversations.
But
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm wondering like, so like, we did a loneliness video also, and then we talked to a psychologist, because one of the questions we asked her is that we are as connected as we can be in history. We are the most connected now. So why is it that people are feeling more and more lonely instead? Then she talked about like the superficiality of it, right? Like at the end of it, I make all these friends, and after I realize nobody really knows me. Then that like exponentially increases my feeling of loneliness. But then at the same time, I wonder if it will really go into like the cyclical thing like you mentioned, because say back then, where we needed to work farms, then after that with industrialization and everything, then we realized, okay, we don't need this anymore. So then is tech not just going to improve, or continue to evolve, I don't know whether it's an improvement, right?
Yeah.
To the point where like if we need children, then we genetically manufacture them. I literally make them in a lab. Then if I need more people, I just do that. And then I like the construct of family to me in like 100 years, 200 years times, right? It will like just disintegrate.
Yeah.
So it will just be like woman, man, then say like you're assigned together, then you parent, like it's your job to like parent these 3 people, like raise them up, then there's like a guide to follow or whatever.
Yeah.
It feels like it's just gonna become that robotic. And I wonder, right, at that point, whether loneliness is still something that we will struggle with, whether familial connections is still something that we are going to crave.
Yeah, because
I felt like it was 2 separate things. Like
Yeah.
the concept of having children for whatever reasons, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that is as cyclical as we see it, because it has moved and served different needs over the history of humanity, and it has constantly been going downwards, unless we forced it to be different. For the most part, I think we look at the more
But there's
developed
always
countries, right?
population explosions every 30, 40 years.
Right.
But it also feels like Mother Nature self-correcting in a sense. So now
Yeah.
like we keep talking about overpopulation, right? Once that aging population goes, we have a huge reduction, and then like nature will just find a way to like repopulate itself again if need be. If not, then this is the great correction, you know what I mean? To me, that's what it feels like.
No, but in the past, Mother Nature, I think, had more say within.
True.
Because right now, the amount of humans that the Earth feed, right, it's already 3 times more than the Earth can feed. It's the advancement of technology that allows us to feed 7 billion. And so top thinkers of the world believe that we can push this technology and take on 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion more. I think one of the key issues is density. The Earth actually has a lot of space, but we are clustered in the cities. And I feel like that's one of the things that make us feel like, I can get behind this. We got too many people. You know, it's not that we got too many people for Earth or as a species. We got too many people in the train that's making me have to skip this train, which is not wider thinking as opposed to personal, you know, which individualistic again. That's an interesting thought, that because when we do that and we manufacture humans, we are likely cloning, because if you look at the DNA and chromosomes, you need 2, right? You need 2 sets. And so by the amount of, I think, genes or genome within the DNA, you can actually calculate how many unique humans there can ever be on Earth. If humans are cloned, then that's where if you have a natural family nucleus, then like what she said, it's a super privilege. Because 90% of you are cloned. Which I think then you increase that value of life.
Yeah.
And one of the weird conversations I had with her also, right, was that every other species on Earth, sole mission is to procreate. Then for many of these species, they procreate, they pass away. So Repa and I were having a conversation about having kids again. I don't know, it keeps coming back and haunt us, right? And and it feels like, wow, then we are sitting here thinking like, nah, we don't want because we want to travel.
the dings are getting restless.
Yeah.
You can outsource.
No, I'm not. I'm enjoying this too much. It was a conversation with Cardinal. Yeah.
Something about speaking to a man close to the Pope.
Yeah, dude, very close to Jesus.
Hey, but look at that, not bad. We went from OnlyFans to cloning. That's really
So wholesome.
Yeah.
And family. Children.
So thank you very much for watching today's episode. Wow, we really went down a rabbit hole. And thank you very much, Gracie, for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No, I think the question was, if you jack off to like porn, right? Then you see the top half of the girl, or maybe the girl is like keep her underwear on or whatever, right? Then you finish already, then they reveal that they have a dick. What does that make you?
Happy.